Good morning, class. Welcome to our college, Sharad Institute of Technology, Polytechnic, EDRA, Department of Information Technology. Today's third lecture on course, that is subject name Applied Multimedia Techniques. Syllabus for this subject, total there are 5 units. Unit number 1, Introduction to Multimedia. Unit number 2, Image Editing and Compression. Unit number 3, Web Page Development using Multimedia. Unit number 4, Create 2D Animation. Unit number 5, 3D Animation. In a previous lecture, we start the unit number 1, Introduction to Multimedia. In that we see the syllabus for that all the units, and also we start the unit number 1. In that we see that the concept of multimedia. Okay, this subject is only for practical exam, means practical oriented subject. It is not a written paper, not a theory paper for that. So everything point in a syllabus not studied in detail, only for you know what is the concept. Okay, and all remaining points are covered in a practical session. Practical session is important. So in a theory, I am only not get in a details only for taking the concept, means what is meant by actually this concept is clear, then it's okay. Okay. Okay, in our first chapter, the point is vector and raster graphics in multimedia. Okay, in that we study the one by one. Vector graphics is in multimedia and raster graphics is multimedia. First, vector graphics. A vector graphics or vector image is an image made up of paths, that is lines lines with a straight starting and ending points. Means what in a multimedia, which types of graphics are used? The vector and raster graphics are used. Okay, there are two types, vector graphics and raster graphics. One by one we see what is meant by vector graphics. Vector graphics means, or which are the vector images, that images made up of that are created with the paths. Okay, and that path starting and ending point. Okay, next point, these paths all based on mathematical expressions consist of basic geometric shapes such as lines, polygons and curves. Means what? These paths are how to create using through any mathematical expression through or any shapes through. Means what? Lines, polygons and curves through we create the path of the vector image. For example, you could use a vector graphics to help make a banner or a sign. Means what? Image, it is a one type or two types of image. One is the raster image and one is the vector image. Okay, we are also known as the vector graphics or raster graphics. In that we studied the what is meant by vector image. Which are we told the vector image? For example, is there said that banner or sign, these are the images under the vector graphics or vector image. Why? Because banners and signs are image made up of using through path, and these are the not the changes that are images. Next point, that is collection of lines and curved lines. Means what? Vector graphics or vector images is the collection of lines and curves. in a vector images there each point is collection of lines and curves. Next point, the quality of vector image not changed means if any image resize then their pixels are not spread, so image will not be spread. Okay, image means what? Image is the created using the pixels. Okay, you know these concepts are totally dependent only for image, text, audio, video, okay, animation. These are the 5 elements of our multimedia. On that points on totally theory are dependent. Okay, now we know the which are the images. Okay, we know the vector image. What is meant by vector image? Vector image means what? Which images that made up of using the paths. Which paths means mathematical curves. Sorry, mathematical expressions and shapes. Which are the shapes and mathematical curves? That lines, polygon, curve, etc. Okay, means what? When we change the quality of vector images, they are not changed. We change the quality means what? We apply the effect means we image resize. Okay, I'm do the image resize, then that image's pixels are not spread, so benefit is that image will not be spread. Next, vector graphics in the creation of digital image through a sequence of commands or mathematical statements that place lines and shapes in a given 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional space. Means what? In a vector graphics or vector images is the created of digital images through, okay, in that images there are the commands or mathematical statements are placed in a sequentially, okay, that using the lines or shapes in a 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional space. Means 2D and 3D animation through the lines are connected with each other and created the vector image. File extension. Which are the file extension for vector graphics or vector images? These are the .svg, .eps, .pdf, .ai, .dxf. Okay, first of all, you know what is meant by file extensions. File extension means which it is indicate that which type of file. We clear that in a previous lecture we are also told that what is meant by file extension means that indicate that which type of your file. Okay, for example, we do the operations on Notepad, WordPad, Excel, PowerPoint. Okay, there are the some file extension. Means what? This file, how we told that Notepad file, WordPad file, or PowerPoint file, or Word file, then using through this file extension. Okay, means what? We do the work on Notepad, then their file extension is .txt. On we do the work on Word, then .docx. On we work on PowerPoint, then their file extension is .pptx. For that such as same in a manner in a vector graphics or vector images, their file extension these are. Using this file extension we says that that image or that graphics is the vector graphics or vector image. Okay, in this point only for clear that what is meant by or how to or to said what is meant by vector image or vector graphics and their file extension. Okay, next, second, raster vector. Okay, raster graphics also called as bitmap graphics, okay, or known as the vector image or raster image or bitmap image are digital images that are composed of tiny rectangular pixels or pictures elements that are arranged in a grid or raster of x and y coordinate include a z coordinate in case of 3D in such a way that it form an images. Means what? Raster graphics is also known as the bitmap graphics, that is the bitmap image or raster image. How it is to be designed, that are digital images and that are composed with the rectangular pixels through or image or picture elements are arranged in the grid or raster of x and y coordinate. For example, your image is in a 3D, then also x, y, z coordinate in that their pixels are arranged in a grid wise. Okay, that images are known as raster, vector or bitmap. Sorry, there is the mistake in the this is the sentence is the raster graphics is heading is that raster graphics is not a raster vector. That the point is the raster graphics is. Okay. Next, that is collection of fixed number of pixels per square inch, that is ppi. Okay, means pixel per inch. Means what? Which images are known as raster graphics or bitmap graphics or known as the raster image or bitmap image? Which images in that collection of fixed number of pixels? Okay, they are the fixed number of pixels and that are placed in a square per square, that is in a per rectangular, their pixels are fixed. That type of images is known as raster images or bitmap images. The quality of raster or bitmap images is changes. Means if any image resize, then their pixels are spread, so image will be spread. This is the only totally opposite for vector graphics. In a raster graphics, their quality of images is changed. Okay, means what? If we operations or effect on an image, that is the resize operation, then their pixels are pixels are spread, so image will be spread. Means which type of image spread? That are known as the bitmap image. Okay, this file size of a raster image depends also on the size of the image, which is determined by the number of pixels being used in the image. Means what? Their file size, how it is depends? That depends of this size of image, means which number of pixels are used, that using that depends that what is the file size of that raster image. Okay, a raster image is an image file format that is defined by a pixels that has one or more numbers associated with it. Means what? In a raster images file format. Okay, how to file format defined by the pixels through file format are defined, and that are more than one or more than numbers associated with it. A number defines the location, size or color of the pixel. Okay, means what? File format of that image using defined by pixels. Okay, and that more than one numbers are associated with each other. Which are which are the numbers? That numbers are, for example, location, size and colors of the pixels. Okay. After that, file extension. Which are the file extension of raster graphics or bitmap graphics or bitmap image or raster image? These are the .bmp, .tif, .gif, .jpg, .png, .jpg. These are the file extension of bitmap image. This file extension through we say that this is the bitmap image. Okay, next point is the what is meant by regular text versus anti-aliased text. Okay, what is meant by regular text? How we say that these are the regular text. The text drawn by hard edges in rough boundaries, that is known as regular text. Okay, means what? We draw the any sentence or any text, okay, that we directly write down, okay, means or we roughly write, that text are known as the regular text. And which are the anti-aliased text? These are also known as the regular text or aliased text. Okay, means what? You already know what is meant by text. Okay, the sentence, words, the collection of words are known as the sentence. Okay, that are the your text. Okay, the text are total two parts. One is the regular text or anti-aliased text. What is meant by regular text? What is meant by anti-aliased text? Okay, which text are we drawn hard edges to rough boundaries, that are known as the regular text. Okay, and anti-aliased text are known as the text drawn by smooth edges, that are known as anti-aliased text. Okay, this regular text is also known as aliased text. Aliased text versus anti-aliased text. Regular text means what? We any word or any text when we draw that are roughly when we draw that are known as regular text, and we draw the text in smoothly, that text are known as anti-aliased text. This information only enough for this point. Okay, next point, standard selection versus floating tolerance and opacity. Okay, that when this is the totally depends upon your how we select the image. Okay, through floating, through tolerance and through opacity. Okay, in that first floating selection, okay, sometimes called as the floating layer, is a type of temporary layer which is similar in function to a normal layer, except that before you can resume working on any other layers in the image, a floating selection must be ensured. There can only be one floating selection in an image at a time. Okay, means that floating selections is used in a Photoshop, means it is the effect on image. Okay, means how to select that this type of temporary layer, means what? We use the multiple layer, we use the Photoshop, means in a Photoshop we multiple layers are used. That time how we floating selection is used, this type of temporary layers which is similar in function to normal layer, except that the before you can resume working on any other layer in the image. A floating selection must be anchored, means what? In a present that the layer, there can only be one floating selection in an image at a time. Next, tolerance. Tolerance determines the color range of selected pixels. Okay, enter a value in a pixels ranging from 0 to 255. A low value selects the few colors very similar to the pixels you click. A higher value selects a broader range of colors. Okay, means what, in a tolerance image it is used in a also Photoshop, that the enter the values in a pixels. Okay, means tolerance determines using the color range of the selected pixels. Okay, these color ranges are from 0 to 255. Okay, means this range are starting from 0 to 255. Their values we are entered. Okay, that a low value selects, then few colors very similar to pixels you click. Means what, you select the few colors, then colors are depends on that tolerance, means that on a pixels we color choose, means what, you range choose. Okay, this we choose the small, then this is the similar to few colors are selected because we select the low colors. Okay, and a higher value selects a broader range of colors, means that is this different or more range of the colors when we use the higher value. When we use the higher value, then that colors are borders, means what, the large. Opacity. Okay, opacity means that opacity is the extent to which something block light. You can change the opacity of layers, filters and effect so that more or less of the underlying image shows through. Means what, opacity means what, using opacity we block the lights. Okay, means you can change the opacity of that layer or filters or effects more or less than that images. Okay, the letters are transparent when opacity is set to 50%, and the letter with opacity set to 100% are not transparent. Okay, means what, the letters are transparent. Okay, when we opacity set to be 50%, we set the opacity is 50%, the letters are transparent. But we set the opacity is 100% with letter, then the letters are not transparent. Means opacity is used for something like the, we use the, when we transparent the image, that time to use opacity because it is okay, and its opacity is change, means layer, filter and effects, means what, it these functions are changed using opacity, means what, we use the transparent. Okay, then we set the 50%, it is transparent, and we set the 100%, there is the no transparent. Summary of that today's lecture is that in this lecture we know the vector and raster graphics is in multimedia, means what, only for clear the point what is meant by vector image or vector graphics, and what is meant by raster graphics or raster image are also known as bitmap graphics or bitmap image. Okay, next point says that regular text versus anti-aliased text, means what, in that we only know the clear the point what is meant by regular text and what is meant by anti-aliased text. Okay, this information is enough for you. Okay, next point we say that we learn that standard selection versus floating, tolerance and opacity. Okay, these are the selection tools, okay, we use in a Photoshop, means how to use the floating selection, how to use the tolerance selection and how to use the opacity selection. Or what is mean by floating selection, means how we use the selection, that floating, tolerance and opacity, it only for set that. Okay, means what, in this today's lecture we only the these points are, what is mean by points, or clear the only for definition of that points, because in details we study then you are confused, so confused, and there the points are only for I am giving the only definition, but you when you studied in detail that time too you very confused, so not studied in detail because there are only more details. Means what, in a vector and raster graphics there the one first only for one totally one chapter is there, because okay, so but in your syllabus it is only for giving the one sub point. So you imagine that it is subject is very fast. Okay, so only for you definition is clear point wise. Okay, today's homework on this lecture is you only write in your notebook, which are we in a first lecture we told that we bring 100 pages notebook, okay, for your notes purpose. In that notebook you write today's lectures points. Okay, these are your notes. Here stop for today's lecture. Okay, any points, any point something, ask any doubt, then no problem. Okay, once again thank you.